Before you undertake a vasectomy, please be sure you are done having kids or you don't want to have kids at all, because in most cases vasectomies are not reversible. So when you go for it, you undergo the procedure, it is really hard to come back from it. So please take notes. Hi guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of my channel. If you are stopping by for the first time, my name is Gloria Obo and welcome to my channel. So on this channel, I drop wellness tips that helps your life to thrive. So instead of just surviving and struggling, you'll be thriving. So the tips I'm going to be dropping today is actually very important, and these are tips that you will need as a man to help you prevent some unwanted situations. So on today's episode, I'll be talking about contraceptive for men. This topic is not widely spoken about because people feel like maybe men just have only one means of contraception or contraceptive, which is condoms. But however, it will interest you to know that there are other ways for men to also have contraceptives, and this contraceptive generally help men to prevent unwanted pregnancies, thereby not impregnating their spouses, their wives, their girlfriends, to mention but a few. So guys, just pay attention as I'll be dropping these tips that you might not know, like you've never even heard of them before, but trust me, these tips work. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. First off, what are contraceptives? These are largely methods that people use to reduce the chances of impregnating their sexual partners. So these methods are actually very wide, and they range from different things. For women have a whole range, lots and lots of contraceptive measures. Meanwhile, contraceptive measures for men are not the list is not extensive. It's just a couple, in which the most common ones are condoms. But I'll be talking about both the common ones and the uncommon ones that you may never have heard of. Without further ado, I will list them shortly. However, people ask questions of how the birth control or contraceptive work for men. The major function of birth control for men is to prevent semen or sperm from entering into the vagina, which proceeds to the womb to fertilize an egg. So when there is no fertilization, definitely pregnancy cannot occur. So for men, it is strictly making sure the sperm does not meet the eggs, which eventually leads to fertilization. So therefore, I'll start with listing the first method of contraceptive for men, which is a vasectomy. A vasectomy is the cutting and sealing of the tube that is responsible for carrying semen. This process is basically done by cutting and sealing of the vasal differential. Basically, this procedure in most cases cannot be reversed. It cannot be reversed in the sense that you cannot go back and undo what you've done already. So before you think of getting a vasectomy, make sure you are sure you don't want to have kids for life, or you've had all the kids you already need, or you've stored semen, like people store semen in semen bank and egg banks. So probably, okay, maybe later in your lifetime you decide to have a child. Yes, you can have a child. But if you've not taken these necessary steps and you go for a vasectomy, I would not advise you to do that, because it is a permanent procedure that cannot be reversed. Reversal largely depends on maybe the skill of your healthcare practitioner, but it is not 100% assured that you will be able to still reproduce. So before you get a vasectomy, think about it. Think it through and make sure you've decided and made up your mind and ready to live with the consequence. So that is one measure. Most men who love their wives to a very large extent, and they don't want their wives or their partners to undergo maybe the side effect of birth control for women, they tend to go for a vasectomy because they feel like, oh, okay, they want to take off the burden of their wife being the one on contraceptives. So guys, like I said before you think of going for a vasectomy, it is an extreme procedure. Think about it so you end up not regretting, and I wish you good luck if eventually you decide to do that. But please note, a vasectomy helps to prevent pregnancy. It helps men not to impregnate their spouses, but it doesn't protect you from STI and STDs. So don't think because you are not ejaculating, you cannot contract an STI or any form of STD. So still make sure you protect yourself against sexually transmitted infection by using condoms, or better still, go for periodic tests if necessary. The cutting of your vasa differential doesn't mean you are not prone or susceptible to sexually transmitted infections. I will not overemphasize this, so please take note. It is very, very important. Our next point is a spermicide. A spermicide basically is a form of contraceptive for men. So this is basically applied directly into a woman's vagina to help kill sperm that has been deposited during the course of sexual intercourse. However, this procedure or this method is not 100% safe. The failure rate is quite high because in as much as you are depositing spermicide into a vagina, there are still some sperm cells that could have gone faster than the spermicide. So therefore, in most cases, using spermicide during the course of sexual intercourse or after sexual intercourse does not guarantee you safety from unwanted pregnancy. So in most cases, spermicide are also used like hand in hand with condoms to maybe help in situations whereby a condom is ruptured, or to just assist and make sure that we are taking like extra precaution. So spermicides basically should be used for extra precaution, not you relying solely on a spermicide as a form of contraception. If you do that, you end up buying baby milk and baby food, though, honestly, guys. So no, don't use spermicide and trust spermicide 100%. You use it as a what's the word, as an you use it to accompany your other methods of birth control, not just for strictly birth control. Our next point are condoms. So guys, condoms are very popular and accessible for everybody. Condoms are known to be 98% effective, and it protects against unwanted pregnancies and also STDs and STIs. Condoms comes in different sizes, shade, colors. Some are even perfumed, some have spermicide in them. So like you have like a wide range of variety to choose from. And like I said before, these are like the most popular form of contraceptive for men. However, there've been some recorded condom failures that actually led to pregnancies and people contracting STDs, and this is because of wrong usage of condoms, or either you bought an expired condom, or better still, you used a lubricant. So I'll break this down. So most times when you buy condoms, this is very, very advisable for you to check the expiry date, because yes, they come in expiry dates. So it's not for you to check them, because the expiry date basically means that it will not be as effective and as preventive as possible. And also, most people go further to do oversabi, like overdoing, quote and unquote, by adding a lubricant to a condom. Naturally, or product wise, condoms come with lubricants already. So you adding external lubricants put the condom at a very high risk of tearing. So we've seen cases of, you get a ruptured condom, or maybe there was a tear somewhere around, I don't know, but we've had stories like that, and this is because you are doing the wrong thing. And also, too much friction and maybe not wearing the condoms properly can lead to the condoms tearing or rupturing, and this, like I said, either leads to unwanted pregnancies or tons and tons of STI and STDs. So please make sure that even though you are using a condom, which is the most effective, the most common and accessible birth control for men, make sure you are wearing it right, you are using it right, and you are practicing safe sex, as this is very, very important, guys. Very, very important. Also, apart from those points I mentioned, there are other shortcomings of adults who use condoms, such as putting on the condom too late, maybe to the process of, maybe you've already started the process and you remembered, and STDs, unwanted pregnancies, or maybe after ejaculation you feel so comfortable, you don't want to like move or anything, and you stay on top of your partner, thereby leaving your already used condoms inside. There's a very high probability there can be a spillage of semen, and that can lead to unwanted pregnancies. So please take note of these things, as condoms are very, very effective. Like I said, 98% effective. So the only 2% is for those people that are not following the rules, or that are buying the wrong sizes of condom, or that are just doing it their own way and not doing it the way it's supposed to be done. So that's it, guys, for condoms. And our next and final point, guys, this point is actually very cheap, very affordable, very easy to practice. Like, this is the safest option you can even think about. This is like the safest form of contraceptive. And can you guess what that is? Abstinence, guys. Stay away from sexual activities. If you know you don't want to be responsible for somebody's upbringing, for buying diapers, buying milk, and whatnot. So abstinence is cheaper to practice, it is safer, and it is the best option. But I know that you cannot tell adults how to behave, or what to do or what not to do. But if you know you cannot afford to get a vasectomy because it is kind of pricey, as is a surgical procedure, or you cannot afford a condom, which are not so expensive, but you feel like, oh no, I'm not going to waste my money on that, or you decide not to buy a spermicide. Like I said before, even though those are not like 100% effect, they are not like, there is like a 22% failure rate for spermicide. So if you decide to say, oh, I don't want to buy these things, I don't want to spend my money on these things, abstain. Abstinence prevents you from a lot of things, saves you from the stress of STDs or STI, prevents you from even going for like maybe regular STD checkup or STI checkup, because you know that, oh, you are not actively participating in sex or anything that will lead you to come down with an infection or with a sexually transmitted disease, or even with pregnancy. So this episode is for guys. Like I said, if you know that you're a guy, you don't want to get anybody pregnant, you don't want to spend money on other forms of contraception or contraceptives, follow this abstinence rule. Abstain, and the world will not come to an end. Abstain till you are ready to take up those responsibility. Abstain till you are ready to be a parent. Abstain till you know you are responsible for your sexual health, and if anything goes wrong, you have the finances to take care of yourself. Just abstain, guys, and that's it on this episode. So guys, if you stayed up to this point, thank you for always coming back to watch my content. Like I keep saying, I do not take your love for granted. Thank you very much. Yes, for the records, I know I've been AWOL, but yeah, I'm back now. You know, I went for a vacation. It was Valentine, so I went for a vacation. Well, I'm back now, guys. Back to like dish you and give you all the best and premium content you can think about. So don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and press the notification button so that you can always get updates on my video whenever I drop a new video. Thank you, guys, and I will see you in my next episode. Bye.